Okay, let's get right into it because a bombshell just went off in the NFL. A star player is on the move in a trade that has everyone talking, and you know what? It is not the one anybody saw coming.
That's right, Rashan Gary is gone. After weeks and weeks of rumors swirling around the league, the Green Bay Packers have just shipped out one of their defensive cornerstones. I mean, this is a move that is sending some serious shockwaves through the entire NFC.
And guess where he's landing? Dallas. The Cowboys, who have been desperate for a pass rusher, have officially made a deal for defensive lineman Rashan Gary. It's done. It is official.
So you're probably asking, what did it cost Dallas to land a guy like this? Well, surprisingly, not a whole lot in draft picks. The Cowboys sent just a single fourth-round pick to Green Bay. But get this, it's not until 2027. That alone should tell you this deal isn't really about the pick.
Oh no. The real story here, the true price of this trade, it's all about the money. And this is where things get really, really interesting. $96 million. That is the total value of the huge 4-year extension Gary signed just last year. And the Cowboys, they are taking on every single cent of it. That is a massive financial commitment. And for the Packers, well, their reward is instant. By getting rid of Gary's contract, they immediately free up almost $11 million in salary cap space for this season. That's money they can turn around and use right now. So you've got to wonder, right? Why would Green Bay give up a top-tier pass rusher for basically a future fourth-rounder and some cap space? And on the flip side, why were the Cowboys so eager to take on that giant contract? Well, that's where the real story begins. Because here's the secret. Rashan Gary was not plan A for Dallas. He wasn't even close. To really get why this trade happened, we have to talk about the deal that didn't happen.
That's right. Before they even thought about calling Green Bay, the Cowboys were all in, and I mean all in, on trying to get Maxx Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders. They were pulling out every stop.
Look at this! This is how badly they wanted him. They put a monster offer on the table. Their first-round pick in 2026, a second-rounder in 2027, and a veteran player on top of that. That's a king's ransom. And it just shows you they were willing to mortgage the future to get their guy.
But it wasn't enough. The Raiders got a better offer from Baltimore, 2 first-round picks, and sent Crosby there instead. So Dallas was left standing at the altar, and they had to pivot fast. And that pivot was Rashan Gary.
So now that the dust has settled and the deal is done, what does this actually mean for these two teams on the field? Let's break down the immediate fallout for both the Cowboys and the Packers defenses.
I mean, you can see the whole trade-off laid out perfectly right here. For Dallas, this is all about plugging a hole they desperately needed to fill. They get a starter, a guy who can hopefully provide some depth while their rookie second-rounder is hurt. But for Green Bay, wow, this is a huge loss. They're not just losing a starter, they're losing the 6th all-time sack leader in franchise history and creating a real potential crisis on their defensive line. In all of this, it brings us to the $96 million question that's hanging over this entire deal. The Cowboys paid a premium price, but what version of Rashan Gary are they actually getting? Now just look at this. This chart tells an incredible story. In his first 7 games last season, Gary was an absolute wrecking ball, 7.5 sacks. But in the final 9 games of the season, a big fat 0, not 1. He completely vanished. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The Packers' own general manager, Brian Gutekunst, he basically admitted it. He said, and I'm quoting here, that Gary just wasn't as productive down the stretch. That's a pretty eye-opening thing to hear from the guy who just traded him. And then you have this from his old coach, Matt LaFleur. Gary has just never been a guy who plays every single down. Last season, he was only on the field for about 58% of the snaps. Now think about that. The Cowboys are paying him like a 100% superstar, but his history shows that's just not the role he's ever played. So really, it all boils down to this. Dallas is making a $96 million bet. They're betting on potential, believing that they're the ones who can unlock that dominant player we saw at the beginning of last season. Green Bay, on the other hand, is betting that his inconsistency makes that contract way too big a risk they're better off without. So the question is, who made the smarter play here? Is it Dallas gambling big money on big talent in a desperate push for a Super Bowl? Or is it Green Bay, who chose financial freedom and future picks over a proven but inconsistent star?
I'm telling you, this one single trade could end up defining the future of two NFC giants for years to come.